person. What else we have? Baptist is a local hospital here. They have a lot of the same, they have a lot of similar features. Let's see. The virtual tours is always one that's heavily hit. This brings up a map of all their locations in town,
Okay.
and then you can choose by location. You can take a tour, and then it'll pull the tour in. Right down here, so it has all the different areas of the hospital. So labor and delivery, cath labs, VIP suites, entrances, etc. And so when you bring this in here, and then you just hotspot over pieces of it to highlight those areas. So they use those.
Cool.
The one we shot one this week for the women's services at Northeast Baptist. So the highlight is obviously the rooms, how comfortable they are, flat panel TVs, refrigerators, that sort of stuff. That as a expectant mother, those are the sorts of things that they're looking for as far as how the like family areas and waiting areas, that sort of stuff. So you can get kind of a feel for the experience that you're going to have before you actually show up.
And do you guys actually go down and take the videos, or how do you get that footage for the virtual tours?
We actually use a Circle Pigs. It's a company that does 360 shots. They just plop a camera in the middle of the room,
Oh, cool.
take a series of shots, they stitch them together, and then we bring them back here, and then we build the we build all the hot spots, and then we build them into these frames, so we can build this out to make it match whatever look and feel the website is. This is kind of a cool one because the client has an in-house designer that they use they like to get, well, they have to get these slides updated frequently to match whatever they have going on that week. So it was going to be difficult for them to get us that information, have us turn around and get posted, and it was going to be expensive basically at the end of the day. So they had somebody in-house that can do, the basic design pieces. So we built this out as XML, so it pulls off of a file. So they just go in, they upload the image, and they upload the content, and then Sitefinity sucks all those pieces out of that database and loads them up into this thing, so they can very easily
That's nice.
maintain these pieces themselves. What else do we have? Those are kind of those are the overview pieces I typically give new clients. So, if there's something deeper, more specific you want to know about, please ask. Like I said, a huge part of, any the technology is obviously important to be able to have people here that can build these sorts of things, but managing these projects, if you can't manage the resources that you have, then things just, you're never going to hit budgets, you never hit client expectations, and things just fall apart. So, like I said, Pro Workflow is a big part of what how we manage all of our projects. So, once it's expanded, it'll show you all the different builds we have going on, any consulting jobs that we have going, bid to spec projects, social media projects, so forth and so on. So, we're just looking at my view, but once you expand them out, like I said, it'll give us a clear view of everything that's going on in the office and how those tasks are tracked and who's got what to do this week, this day, so that we can manage expectations and keep things calm for everybody in here, hopefully, so that everybody can work at a relaxed pace, so we can work on quality pieces.
We actually do have some questions about the organization and structure and stuff, so I'm just going to actually pan over to you while we ask. Can you briefly just tell us a little bit about how many employees you maintain, what their levels are, what their expertise are?
Sure. We have 19 people currently. We have everybody from account executives who are responsible for the day-to-day interaction with clients. So each AE has a set number of clients that they're responsible for, and they keep up with any of the needs the clients have, be proactive with the clients to come up with new ideas. So, as new technologies, as, the YouTube tie-ins, those sorts of things, as those become available as modules that we build, then roll those out to clients, and just make sure that overall the project is giving some sort of return, whatever that return from the front end is, whatever the return needs to be for the client, are we matching that? So reviewing Google Analytics and any number of reports to make sure that the site is performing the way it's supposed to perform, up to expectations of the client. And then at the end of the day, is it working for the users? Are we getting people where we want them in the site? Is it effective? So from the AEs, we have our production team on this side of the office. And that's anything from, designers who are doing the look and feel mocks. So they're the ones that come up with what the actual navigation is going to look like, what the actual page is going to look like. Then we have folks that are on the multimedia side. So they're going to be building out like those YouTube pieces. They're going to build out the flash rotators, any sort of the multimedia pieces they'll be responsible for. We have developers who actually take all those files and then build them into the content management system.
Oh, I see.
So they're kind of more on the technical coding end. They take all those modules, build them out, and basically round out the project for the client. And then we have programmers that are responsible for doing the custom pieces. Like I said, if we're trying to tie into existing databases that a client may have, if we're trying to facilitate a transaction online, any sort of custom sort of tools that a client needs built. For instance, like on this site here, all of the patient education information, all of that content is hosted and provided by a third party. So that third party maintains all this information, all these pages, and we just pull them all in. So all that is actually coming from somewhere else. It's not actually on this site. So they could take that third party piece, style it out, make it look like it's part of this website. And so we can utilize those tools that have a further reach than, because nobody can possibly maintain that level of information. So there's services out there that do that.
I see.
So any sort of custom piece like that that's going to require programming time, those guys are responsible for. And those are the basic chunks of the teams.
Yeah, that's great.